Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. Her name is Laquisha Jones, or Laquisha Jones. How about we just call her Big Ass Grizzly Bear? And I was hoping that they would publish the mugshot for this heifer, because I wanted to plaster it right up there for everybody to see. But since they didn't, I had to find a reasonable substitute. So I think that works right about now. She's 30 years old, which makes her a 90s baby, so why should I not be surprised? And she has been arrested for the absolute vicious attack on a 92-year-old senior citizen. She was charged with assault with a deadly weapon and is currently being held on $200,000 bail. I am surprised that all she got was the assault with a deadly weapon charge. I guess they're going to figure out whether or not you can add hate crime and all the things that I felt she should have been charged with in my first show. I'm going to give props to the Huffington Post. Typically, they are so liberal that they can't stand themselves when it comes to covering certain things, but they called it right this time. The Huffington Post was the only news organization that I found that called this exactly what it was: a racist attack on someone. Everybody else has been biting their tongues or tight-lipped or just flat out will not say that it was a racist attack committed by a black person, because if you do that, that means you are saying that black people are just as racist, or are capable of being just as racist as the white people that they love to claim own all of the stock in racism. So I guess in the future we can look forward to black people kicking white people out of Starbucks. You know, we can look forward to black people kicking and calling the cops on white people because they're wearing socks in swimming pools and selling water on the street, and that'll somehow normalize all of this. Now, Miss Jones has been quite the busy bee, as indicated by Heavy.com. And if you've ever read Heavy, whenever a news story breaks, they give you that fast 5 facts that they think you need to know. So they did one on Miss Jones. So we're going to take a quick look at what Heavy came up with. Number 1, she's been arrested 5 additional times in the past with a prostitution conviction. So not only is she a big old grizzly bear, she's a big old grizzly hoe. Number 2, she shouted racist statements at the man that she beat and told him to go back to his country. Number 3, Mr. Rodriguez didn't know why Jones was beating him since he does not speak English. Number 4, Jones's beating of Rodriguez has sparked outrage down partisan lines. Republicans are outraged and Democrats are outraged. Never mind, for a lot of you Republicans, you created the climate for this crap to happen, and now all of a sudden you're outraged at it. And number 5, it is still unclear whether this was a hate crime or not. And the LASD, I think that's the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, they are looking into the motive, and that last reason kind of falls under the do you not think it wasn't a hate crime when she's beating him with a brick, telling him to go back to his country? Do you think? Now, KTM did his own top 5 fast facts that I think you should know, and mine's differed slightly from Heavy. So let me read my fast 5 and let's see how they pair up. Number 1, she's a crazy bitch. Number 2, she's a crazy violent bitch. Number 3, she's a crazy violent bitch armed with a brick. Number 4, she's a crazy violent bitch armed with a brick that doesn't know basic geography, because the person she's beating and telling to go back to their country is already in their own country. And number 5, she's a crazy violent bitch armed with a brick that's going to jail, without the brick, of course. Now, I also want to give props to T-Bone Billy 81 out of Twitter, and Misty Garcia out of Twitter, because in the case of Mr. Billy 81, he saw exactly what I saw. There aren't a whole lot of black people addressing this. I wonder why, But anyway, Mr. Billy 81 wrote, CNN didn't even mention the race of the attackers in their column in the early morning. The link was tweeted out by Sean King when he discovered the attackers were black. 5 minutes later, activist Talcum X deleted the tweet. And the Talcum X, I found out, is Sean King. And Miss Garcia tweeted in reference to Shaun King, why aren't you tweeting about this story? Just curious, unless I missed it. No, you did not miss it. But I did miss Mr. King because I didn't know who he was. So I did some homework and found out that not only is Mr. King affiliated with that hypocritical load of crap group, Black Lives Matter, but Mr. King has been pulling a Rachel Dolezal. Apparently, he is a white guy who has been passing himself off as black and has inserted himself in a lot of these racist white cop movements and all these things. So when a black person gets attacked by a cop or some type of discrimination happens, Mr. King jumps to the rescue of black folks, and he's been doing it under the guise of a black man, apparently, and he's done pretty well for himself. As a speaker, this guy charges close to $8,000 a pop for lecturing. He's gone across the country talking all of this, white racist stuff. So here you have a white guy who tours the country calling other white people racist on behalf of black people, a black person that he's pretending to be. And I got to tell you, man, sometimes I do regret having integrity and some sense of decency. You know, I can't lie to people when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, if I could do something that, because this guy's got like close 1 million or more followers, which means he's been lying to 1 million people, and he's leveraged that to be able to get paid speaking and stuff. And I mean, I'd love to be able to build an entire foundation, you know, on lies and mistruths, because apparently that's how you get followers and that's how you get viewers and that's how you can become rich. But I'm not cut. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So for my listeners and my viewers, you know, because I don't thank you enough, thank you for supporting the Wake Up Report, because, you know, sometimes you're not going to like how I say certain things, but I'm at least making an attempt to tell you the truth and to try to make some sense out of people like this who are absolute nonsense, who will come along and just snake oil salesmen themselves to the bank and laugh at you all the way to the bank. But back to Grizzly Bitch, because in addition to her being arrested, there are 3 other individuals who are still out there, and they didn't even know her. And that to me is also bizarre, that 3 people jumped on a senior citizen, a 92-year-old man, simply because she told them to do it. They didn't question it. They didn't say, what's going on here? They didn't say, well, look, why are you hitting him with that? You know, that's a senior citizen. He's really not going to harm you. They just jumped out of a car, jumped on this man, jumped back in the car, and they took off. Congratulations. You've allowed this woman to ruin your lives. You will be caught. Eventually, she's going to roll over on you. All 4 of you. I hope the judge or whatever jury, I hope they throw the book at all 4 of you. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I will maintain it. Black people love making history in the absolute worst of ways. So congratulations, lady. You have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that black people can, in fact, be racist. And once again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I will maintain it. 90s babies, the most useless, violent generation of blacks in the history of Black America. Thank you guys for listening to the Wake Up Report. I would rather tell about 4,000 of you the truth than tell about 1 million of you a bald-faced lie. This is KTM and the Wake Up Report saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.